journals, art projects, organized planner chic.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, before I go any further, as always, I want to be sure and thank all my patrons who support me on Patreon and make it possible for me to create videos like this. Well, thank you guys so much. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. All right, you guys, here's my face again. I know it's been kind of back and forth here lately since May, when I've traveled so much and been filming in advance and doing double, sometimes triple the work to make sure that I can stay in communication with you guys and share all of my creative ventures and adventures. And then it's just been tiring and then hot, and I just haven't had it all together. Haven't been feeling well, but I am doing better now, and so here I am. And today what I'm going to do, you guys, is show you what I have done so far toward One Book July in reading the book by Ryder Carroll, which I picked up to bring over here and show you guys. Where did I put it? Let me go get it. Okay, sorry for having to step away there for a minute, but this is the bullet journal method book that I am reading along with my bullet journal. If you follow me, if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while now, then you know that bullet journaling is my primary form of planning. I do it in my bullet journal, and I also do it in my traveler's notebooks, and I'm doing it some now in my Hobonichi weeks. But primarily I have one bullet journal that's my master planner for everything. My Hobonichi weeks comes in my purse with me because my bujo is big and heavy, because I do art in there as well, and it gets really thick, and I house it inside of a traveler's notebook that's kind of heavy in itself, so it doesn't go everywhere I go. But bullet journaling has been my way of planning for, well, really pretty much since bullet journaling came out. But there's some things that are back to the basics, the original way of doing it, that I have not done. I've done it differently. I spent more time, I think, in the beginning kind of developing my style based on what other bullet journalers did and not necessarily what Ryder Carroll said to do. Even though I watched his videos back when they first came out, I still kind of followed more of what I thought would work for me based on other bullet journalers, not as much on what his original plan was. And then a couple years ago, my friend Nawasa bought me the official bullet journal that Lloydstrom 1917 that was designed for the method. And so I, spent a little bit of time in that, but not so much. But now that for One Book July, Romany's Realm and the other ladies that teamed together to put One Book July together, now that this year they decided to read the book, I thought, I'm going to get the book, I'm going to go back and read it, and I'm going to see what I can glean from it that I haven't been doing that might be beneficial for me. And so I am so excited to tell you guys, I decided to read halfway for this halfway point video, and then I'll do another video at the end to show you how I've changed everything from that point on. So I intended to read through to page 150. I didn't quite make it. I made it to page 100, and so I'll show you what I've done and what I've learned from reading the book. All right, well, let's get to it. Okay, you guys, if you hear a little noise, it's the fan because it's just too hot for me to film without having it going, so I apologize for that. You may not hear it at all though. But the first thing I wanted to do was let you guys see how much I learned from the first 30 pages of this book, and I just had to document it and show it to you. So in the book, he had this little exercise about doing mental inventory, and he said to turn it sideways, which is why it's turned that way. But I'm going to let you see the front part, and you may not be able to read it all that well. Let me see if I can zoom in and make it a little better as I read it to you. Okay, here we go. So at the top, I have a little header that says what the bullet journal does. And I just did some different quotes that really spoke to me from the book. So the first one has, the bullet journal has helped people reconnect with themselves and the things they care about, on page 12. It will help you accomplish more by working on less. It helps you identify and focus on what is meaningful by stripping away what is meaningless. Information overload is worse for our focus than exhaustion or smoking marijuana. The bullet journal provides the offline space needed to process, to think, and to focus. And that all just really spoke to me. It was explaining that the bullet journal is not just a planning method. It's a way to actually capture what happens every day without writing long paragraphs. And long handwriting is great and it has its purpose, but you can remember the different things that you did and pay attention to what's meaningful and record it, and then decide what actions you want to take from that. And so mindfulness, the next statement on here, it is in the present moment that we begin to know ourselves. We forget all too soon the things we thought we could never forget. I can definitely witness to that. And here, through the bullet journal, you'll learn how to capture thoughts quickly and effectively. And again, they're the meaningful thoughts, the things that matter. And this method helps you pay attention to what matters and weed out what doesn't. It's not just about getting things done in terms of tasks, but getting things done in terms of the intentional life that you want to live. And then intentionality, you'll automatically form a regular habit of introspection where you'll begin to define what's important and why it's important, and then figure out how to best pursue those things. Through social media, we compare our lives to those largely artificial constructs and structure our plans accordingly, hoping to eventually afford a golden ticket to these misleading fantasies. Patients in the last weeks of their lives, their number one regret was that people wished they had stayed true to themselves. With the bullet journal, you can track the decisions you've made and the actions you've taken that led to where you are. It encourages you to learn from your experiences. And then I just noted on underneath that all the quotes on this page, 2-page spread, are from the Bullet Journal Method book by Ryder Carroll. And on each quote, of course, I put the page number and quotations were applicable. And then right here, I just drew out what was on one of the pages that said, basically, you want to look at everything that you're thinking you want to do and determine, is it vital and does it matter? So if it is vital, then of course you're going to keep it. If it's not vital but it matters, then you're going to keep it. But if it's not vital and it doesn't matter, then it's a distraction and you need to just throw it away, which I think is awesome. And then explain that doesn't matter, when answering that question, does it matter to you or someone you love? And is it vital? Think rent, taxes, student loans, your job, etc. And I would say also your emotional stability. And then he did this mental inventory, and I put, see if you can see that better, and I put right here on this part where he said, just like when organizing a closet, we need to take, gosh, I can't read today. Just like when organizing a closet, we need to take, I was supposed to say we need to take, and I put take twice. We need to take everything out before we can decide what stays and what goes. So I'm going to read that one more time so it sounds clearer. Just like when organizing a closet, we need to take everything out before we can decide what stays and what goes. So he had the mental inventory exercise, which is going to be used later on or addressed later on in the book. Again, I got to page 100, so I don't know exactly what we're going to do with that yet. But I did do a mental inventory, and it really made a big impact on me on some of the things that I am doing that I really either aren't important to me, they don't have value, and I need to, or things that actually, take that back. Things that I was thinking that I should be working on, when I wrote them down and thought about them and applied the is it vital and does it matter questions, then I was able to cross some stuff off that was kind of weighing on me. And also what I want to be working on, I realized that there were a couple of things that I really don't necessarily want to be working on. I kind of felt like maybe I should, But when I think about me as a person, do I really want to, or am I thinking that's what someone else would expect of me? Then I was able to cross some more things off. And of course, that's a living document, so I'll be continuing to work on that. But I wrote down a couple more quotes he had. Every decision requires you to focus, and focus is an investment of your time and energy. Both are limited. And then also here, Barack Obama said, You'll see I wear only gray or blue suits. I'm trying to pare down decisions. I don't want to make decisions about what I'm eating or wearing because I have too many other decisions to make. The same is true of Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg with his gray hoodies, or Apple founder Steve Jobs in his famous black turtleneck and jeans uniform. Accurately aware of how taxing deliberating over options can be, they sought every opportunity to limit choice in their lives. Oh my gosh, that is so profound. And as a result of reading that, go to what I did. I wrote out this and added it to my collections, which we'll talk about in a moment. I added this, which says, stop doing, oh gosh, again, I can't read today. It's because I'm filming. That always happens. So stop doing to limit decision making and save time. So these are things that I want to stop doing so I can limit decision making and save time. And so I wrote a list of things that I'm already doing, a lot of which are important and I do need to do, but some of them have kind of general time frames, but not specific, so I know exactly each day what I need to work on that day. Some things are like, I know I have certain deadlines, and so I need to do a certain thing day or 2 or 3 days before to meet those deadlines. But others are more like, do this every week, do this every day kind of thing. And so then I broke that down to be more specific. So like, for instance, I know I have set every Wednesday and Friday are my publishing days for YouTube. Every Tuesday and Thursday are my filming days. I know what I'm filming publishing every Friday. I know the categories I'm publishing every Wednesday. But things like weekly YouTube community posts, I changed that to do them every day and do them at the same time. And so I put post shop updates when I publish new products, which no, that works, but something else I changed. Okay, so like I have been always announcing my $2 Tuesdays on Tuesdays and $3 Thursdays on Thursdays, but I also need to announce them the Monday before and the Wednesday before as well, so that I'm ready and everybody knows ahead of time, and I'm not, and that means I'm 2 days ready before those days come, instead of scrounging to get everything ready late the night before, early the next morning. To do my social media postings, which I put in here, daily social media postings, but here I've got social media postings 9:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. every day. And also I think I have here post my meals, and then here I'm going to post all of my meals when I have them. Okay, so that was really helpful to me. All right, you guys, so then we're going to go to the front. Oops, sorry, I hit the camera. All right, we're going to go to the front. Let me make my camera focus some more. All right. Okay, I decided to zoom out a little bit more so we could have a little bit clearer of a picture. And so I put here, oh, by the way, these stickers are in my Etsy shop as printables now, so check those out. But so now this is, after I read through all the first part, we get into the actual setup of the book and its purpose and why it's set up that way. And so here I did a little shortcut, but before I show you that, I want to make sure you're aware that if you go to bulletjournal.com and register for the emails, you can get this guide, which I've had for years, the Bullet Journal Reference Guide, which was made by Tiny Ray of Sunshine, and you can just print it. And I know it looks all dull because this has a white background, but you can print that for free Isn't it adorable? It is so nice. It has a little quick summary of how everything is set up. So it started off as just something that Tiny Ray of Sunshine, who's on YouTube and Instagram, had created for herself and shared, you know, for everybody to see on YouTube and Instagram. And then Ryder Carroll asked, you know, worked with her to add it to the website. So that is a good reference. But I'm going to show you how I did a really quick shortcut of it in my bullet journal. So here in the front I have this morning, midday, afternoon, or evening and nighttime and weekend routine for me that I set up in the front. And then I put this little sort of cheat sheet. So it says the standard bullet journal collections. They're the index, future log, monthly log, and daily log. And then I'll go through each of these things as I point them out in here. So the first thing is your index, and this is my index. Of course, I like to do art and like things to be colorful, so I use color. And so again, these are the standard bullet journal collections, so I just put collections along the side. You have your index, and then you have your future log. Well, actually, let me cover the index first. So in my index, I have all of my collections, all of them here. So collections that I made up, collections, the monthly pages here, and then here is a project, which is a collection. So I'm going to mention these as I go along as well. So the index there, part of the collection, future log. So the first thing I have in here is a year at a glance before my future log, just because it's helpful to me to have a full calendar for the year in there. So there's that. And then it is my actual future log. So on pages 6 through 12. So page 5 is my year at a glance, pages 6 through 12 are my future log. And that's how my future log looks. And I like having a little calendar so I can pay attention to what day of the week when I'm thinking about stuff goes with that date. Right, so that's page 12. And then the next thing in my index or my collections is possible outings for 2019. That was in there, but I never really used it. So I have crossed it out. Like he said, it's trash. And then I crossed it out here. Then my 2020 prep is helpful for me. So that helps me, instead of having to flip through all of my future logs and setting up my next bullet journal, I just wrote the things that I know will apply to the next year in here, and then when I set it up I only need to look at this 2-page spread. Now typically you have just a 2-page spread for your month, for your future log, but I just found that was not enough room for me, so that's why I have, you know, 4 months spread across 2 pages. Okay, and then my savings tracker, pages 16 through 17, and this is where I keep up with the one particular bank account that has multiple savings accounts and how I track what I want to do in those. And then I have my VA and DAV because I'm a disabled veteran, and this kind of tracks what's going on with my claims. You know, I'm 70%, but there's always something going on to increase it or evaluate it. And my car maintenance, pages 20 and 21. So that's where I keep up with my oil change, my tire rotations, and regular maintenance for every so many thousands of miles. And then my social media tracker, pages 22 through 23. And that's where I keep up of my growth on my social media platforms, including YouTube. And I write them down at the end of every month. And then my vision board, 24 and 25. This is my vision for the year, things that are actual tasks. I put a red star with gold border when I complete them. And then the things that are I need to measure at the end of the year, like what percentage of this do I feel like I accomplished this, then will put a percentage at the end of the year. Eventually I will probably start giving a percentage at the end of every month like I used to, but we'll see. And then my year in pictures, because I don't use that many pages for my my actual what am I trying to say? Oh, from actual index. Then I use some other space to do a year in pictures. And oh, it's not there. Year in pictures, that's all we have in indexes on pages 2 through 4. So I've put pictures in here up through Easter, so got to get caught up on that. Okay, because this was designed with a bunch of pages for the index, and I wasn't using them all for that. So, all right, so index, we went over the future log. The monthly log are the individual months, and then the daily log. So let's look at the individual months. Now, I don't do my monthly log, or I haven't been doing my monthly log like he has, but I'm going to test it out again. I used to when I first started bullet journaling, but I didn't really like the fact that there's no calendar. It just bugs me. It doesn't work for my brain. So this is how I do my monthly calendar spread. And then for the monthly task page, I have it here, and I should probably call it tasks, maybe not goals, because they're actually individual tasks. So I have a piece of art that I always create, and then I have my tasks, and then I have a calendar. So that's how I do it right now. But I'm going to experiment with maybe also adding that monthly page that he has, that he says so far in the book that it's more of recording what happened. So maybe I'll have a calendar, and then maybe I'll add a page that actually does the 1 through 31 on the left and the day of the week right next to that, and then record what actually happened as opposed to what was scheduled. Maybe I'm thinking that out for August. Okay, and so that's the monthly log, and then the daily log. So my dailies have been, generally they look like this, where I would put the dates for the week up there, and then I would just have the day of the week, and then boxes, and check it off if I did it, put an arrow going down or to the right if I forwarded it or migrated it, and put a dot if it was in process. Like, I'll show you one like this one. Oops, sorry, shaking it. Like this one. But I agree in the book how he said a box takes too long. Like he said, that used to be the method, and that's the way it was when I started, but it does take a while, and it can look messy, and I don't like it not looking neat. So it was really cool. I decided yesterday to start doing it the way that he does it, and man, it was so freeing. And also, you know, this can still be my art. So these are stickers from my shop, and I can also journal. I've got washi, and I bought this really nice tin that I'm using for my Hobonichi Weeks wallet cover now, and so I put that in there. So that really worked. So that's the daily log, and then with the daily log, we'll do the rapid logging. So I put the standard bullet journal style is rapid logging, the meaningful, only the things that matter, and then migration, forwarding intentions, and trashing distractions. And so here was the cheat sheet for how to do things: notes, events, tasks, task complete, task migrated, task scheduled, irrelevant, crossed out, signifier as the priority, signifier for inspiration. And this signifier I didn't see in the book yet, but I saw it in the bullet journal quick reference guide from gosh, I can't think of her name, and I just said it like Ray of Sunshine. And then how you put the date. So this was the pagination, the day of the month, the day, and the day of the week. And then I put subtasks or indentions go under the task, and then any task. This was a like personalized when he mentioned in the book, a task assigned to someone else can have a dot with a slash in it. And so then that's where I put, so I put the things that I completed, a note for when my son works. This is a task that he expressed that if you have subtasks, you don't mark off the master task unless all of the tasks under them are done. And then I probably now should cross this one off since it's the next day and it's irrelevant because I can't do it now. And then I can go ahead and mark this one complete. Yeah, cool. And then this was inspirational that I bought a beautiful lavender traveler's notebook at Walmart for Hobonichi Weeks. and it was the Pen and Gear brand for $7.88. At least I think that was I know it was $7 and something. I'm pretty sure it was $7.88. All right, and then here I just had added that collection, the bullet journal method exercises. Whatever I do that I jot down in here as a result of reading the book. So it starts on page 158, then I did something on 159 and 162. So there was 158, 159 that we looked at, and then 162 was right here, which really technically I guess I could have put on this side of the page, because he said the dailies you just start when the next blank spot is, but I was still used to doing 2-page spread for dailies, but that's okay. I'll use however much space I need and I'll go to the next page, and I can not even have to worry about that. So I want to point out a couple of other things that I have been doing. Like this week was busy, I didn't do much, but it's fine when it comes to actually doing the method. So I used to do this more, and I halfway did it this month, because this gratitude log is something that I never look back at. I pray every morning and night. I give thanks to God and I talk to him about everything, but I would at the end of the day try to think of what was the one thing that I wanted to write in this space. And I couldn't always remember even everything that happened in the day. So one of the things he pointed out is by writing down the meaningful, when you're rapid logging, you capture what matters. And so I don't really need to do that unless I want to create. Maybe what I could do is at the end of every day, look at what I've written down, and then maybe I could have my gratitude that highlights the thing that stood out. Maybe something that had an exclamation mark or an asterisk or whatever, or maybe it'll help me really decide what to put on that page. So I may continue this by doing the rapid logging, and then I don't need to do a brain dump if I'm rapid logging the way that he says to do it. Well, that's it for today, you guys. I hope this is helpful. I hope it impacted you, and I hope you will read the book if you haven't, and if you're not able to, I hope this summary will give you some helpful information. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All of my subscribers get an additional discount from my Organized Planner Chic Etsy shop, and that discount is in the comments or the description below. And also check me out on Instagram at Organized Planner Chic, and my Facebook group is Organized Planner Chic Crew, where we do frequent giveaways and we do birthday exchanges. I also have a business page, The Organized Planner Chic, but the group is Organized Planner Chic Crew. And if you want to support me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/Organized Planner Chic. And until next time, happy planning!